The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq reached new all-time highs on the stock market today, and it had a lot to do with this. You see this come out around Friday evening, Saturday morning, right? The U.S. is kind of backtracking on some of those tariffs that we put into effect back in March and April, right? And this is based on materials that we don't produce here in the United States, right? And this again is focused back on that rare earth materials, in my personal opinion. So the market definitely took this, ran for the upside. We also had news of the President Xi and what was happening with Trump and their meeting upcoming very soon. This was inherently very bullish. Now, if we go look at the charts, we go look at stocks, SPY all-time highs once again, NASDAQ just almost there, right? It's almost there. We're working. No, not all-time highs on SPY. I'm sorry, not all-time highs, but still working back into highs, breaking that little downtrend, lower highs you had formed out there. You're working here. You're doing what you need to do. But you have a lot of equities pushing into all-time highs. Apple, new all-time highs. AMD traded this, new all-time highs. You're working back into these major levels. And again, like I said in the previous video, is like you can't get too concerned with the market when you're still consolidating at all-time highs, right? And that's what you're doing. You look at QQQ, I mean, you're literally about to break it right now. You're $1 away, give or take. So you're still working. However, it's not all sunshine. It's not all good news. You go look right now, Donald Trump comes out. He's like, guys, by the way, if China doesn't make this deal, guys, we're going to bump those. Those are rookie numbers, right? China's going to pay not 100% increase on tariffs. We're going to do 155% increase tariffs if the deal isn't done by November 1st. The funniest part is meeting with Xi in a couple of weeks. I don't know if you guys know, but November 1st is like 13 days away, basically. So, like 6, I don't really know. Like, what do you do with this? This is crazy. The market has not responded, though. I will say, you look at the NASDAQ, and the NASDAQ is still holding up. Look at the 15-minute. Like, you're still chilling up here. It doesn't care. It has full-fledged went into, what do they call it, the taco trade. Anytime Trump says something negative, just go long on it, right? Again, if you're just holding up, and NASDAQ's like, we're over this, the market, we're over this, we're going to all-time highs. We're chilling, okay? That is where you're at. That's how you're moving. Even the Dow getting a lot of that love, breaking massive levels, pushing up as well. You're getting the continuation you need to see. This is strong news overall. This, and not news, but strong movement in the market, okay? Very important to understand that. Now, I will say, like I always say, make your money and run in this market. That's the name of the game, okay? Make your money, run. This is not a market where you hold or you swing, you get hyper aggressive. I don't think so, okay? I could be wrong, but I don't think so. This stuff right here, you never know what's going to come out of Trump's mouth, and you don't know how the market's going to interpret it. This doesn't seem like great news, but hey, we're alive, right? So let's see what we're doing, the biggest areas, and I want to go into this because midday video, because I think there's still a lot of big opportunities out there for us, guys. I think there's a lot of big trades in the works. So before we do that, I want to say right now, if you want to see how we're trading, what we're trading every day, the Discord link is down below. You get access to everything that we're doing throughout the day, ask us questions, etc. There's a starter plan and the premium plan, just to let you know. The starter plan, you get access to everything except the exact swing trades, which we're not even doing any. I haven't entered a swing in a few weeks worth mentioning. And then you don't get live access to voice chat, that's usually the first 2 hours of the market where me and Jay are just going crazy, scalps, everything in between. There's some trades we don't even mention in Discord that are always there as well. But technically, you see all the trades that we're getting into for scalps, etc. Profits there as well. So do what you gotta do. Links down below. Tap in. Also, too, Jay does a recap every day, which I'm not good about talking about here, but he does a full recap of what he traded, why he traded it, goes into detail, the money made, shows evidence, etc. It's there literally every single day in Discord also. So check it out while you can. Now, I also do want to say, guys, if you want to see more updates, and I try to make as much free content as possible at all points in time. I want to make that abundantly clear. I have Twitter, I have TikTok where I'm live all the time. I answer questions. I post like 7 videos a day on TikTok too, going over the market. YouTube. So I try to give as much free content as possible. It's always there for you. I really recommend following on Twitter though, so you can get all the updates and you can see what we're looking at, why we're looking at it, everything in between, the charts, etc. So it's all there for you as well. Let's get to work though. Now, looking at the market. NASDAQ, very close all-time highs, looking very good. As far as levels are concerned, you're back above 25.2, which again, you've been rejecting so far around that area. You're getting back above this level here, 25.26, and you're holding. I would love to see a BRB, a break, retest, continuation back to the upside. So you'd like to see, but as of right now, you're still looking really good. The only hiccup in the market is NVIDIA. And you are trying to work. This is not a big level here that I'm watching at all. I had that marked out earlier for Discord, but this is the only trade that like hasn't really worked out. I didn't really lose any money. It was just like a slight L, but Nvidia cannot hold 184. If it ever holds 184, easy trade back into 187, looking at that. But yeah, the big topic today, sorry, I have people all outside my house, but the big trade today is going to be Apple. Apple breaking all-time highs. Again, you have to zoom way out, go to the weekly. This is your previous high from last December, breaking out, pushing up. Worth mentioning, earnings are coming in this week and next week. So again, I posted this on Twitter going in so you can see. So this week, tomorrow was going to be one of your bigger days. You have Netflix, Texas Instruments, Coke, Verizon, a few other names. The biggest names here are going to be Netflix and TXN in my opinion. Then Wednesday, we have Tesla, IBM, big names there. And then Thursday, another big day. I'd be watching Intel. Normally, I don't care about Intel, but they're getting a lot of hype, right? A lot of hype. We'll talk a lot about that coming into this week. And I honestly, I'm looking forward to see how we respond from earnings on Intel. Like, what is there any good news coming out? Is there any like plan for revenue increase, right? What we need to be looking at. So going to the market, what are we looking at right now? SPY. So SPY going towards the 15-minute. Of course, guys, I got to give you your levels. And I recommend, just so you guys know, take a screenshot. I'll never be upset if you guys take a screenshot of the levels. Like, you know, use them, right? That's why I make the videos. But right now you look good. So we saw the little bit of lower highs you were putting in so far on SPY. You're obviously breaking out of that today. Now where things get even more interesting is this little previous high that we have here in this little downtrend right about there. You can see you're sitting above that right now and you're actually trying to flag above it, which is something that we really like to see, which is a good continuation sign. If you can actually get some increased volume, some buyers step in, we could see 673, but above 670, you look really good. Below that could come back down to 667, 664. On QQQ, there's really not too much you can talk about here. You're just looking for all-time highs above 613.2. You look really good there right now. Nothing to overcomplicate anything along those lines. Okay, so Qs, NASDAQ futures, etc. That's really all you need to understand is where you're at, where you're going, what to be looking for. Now, fundamentally, with what's happening from Trump and things being said, you're not going to be able to predict anything that man's going to say. I'm going to tell you right now. This is why I keep saying, make your money, get out of the market. Make your money, get out of the market. I want to make this as clear as possible. Okay, I am not looking to hold a bunch of Jay here. We're not looking to hold a bunch of trades. We're not looking to get crazy, right? So going into some of the trades we took here on the day, what we were looking for. I'll go into Tesla. So Tesla, we were looking for the break and retest down here. You only got like to 440, but you pop back up. What we're looking for, 444, then 449 to 450. This ended up pushing into like 448 and then kind of came back down. Take your money, run. AMD, what we're looking at here, and Netflix too, looking into 1230, 12, and then 1225. I'm not looking to swing overnight right now. Now, if you guys want to, do that, right? But you need to understand, you're taking on a lot of risk when I don't believe the reward opportunity is there. Those are always things you need to have weighing on the back of your mind. Is the risk I'm taking with this trade by holding, extending the trade, not getting out, not moving stops up, anything like that, is the reward opportunity actually there, right? So going into something like Netflix, right? So Netflix, I've had the same levels for God knows 1235, so it's still running, but I'm already out, so I'm not going to capture these gains. But anyways, the same levels are still there. I know on Netflix, like let's say this thing gets really bullish, it goes straight up. I'm capped out around 1260. However, the downside, if we start getting really bearish and we start just falling off a cliff, 1200, and then we have 1170, 1180. Like those are like my top and bottom line of what I'd be looking at right now, right? So it's understanding real like anticipation of what's happening. I wouldn't go into Netflix and be like, okay guys, there's a big chance we get $1,300 today. Well, no, there's not, because we sat in a range for almost, over a month. So it's unlikely, but it's really likely that we respect the same levels over and over again. So that's how I would be anticipating, how I'd be attacking this, and what I'd be looking for now. Like Nvidia, if we get above 184, the risk to reward makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense because you get over that, you have no liquidity until 187. If we hold it, we know it's a major level. A lot of support shows up there. If you don't hold it and okay, well, let's not trade it under 184 because, again, you've been rejecting for God knows how long. It's understanding the statistics, where you're at, and what's worked in the past, right? Very, very, very important. You're not trying to predict. You're trying to take what the market's giving you every single day. I can only say it so many times, okay? Very, very, very important. Now, also worth mentioning, I was mentioning a lot that, again, I got my days mixed up. So it's next week. I know I said in the video yesterday, but next week is our rate cut decision in the market. Very important. What's happening from there is also pretty amazing. Your 10-year yield is still getting slapped around. Love to see it. Still down on the day. Absolutely love to see this. Your 30-year yield also dipping as well. Good to see. Again, we are positioning ourselves for more cuts, a Fed that wants to continue lowering rates. Unemployment is a big issue and a concern. But again, mortgage rates on the, obviously on the come down. A lot of these other companies are going to thrive off this news as well. A lot of you guys like SoFi. I'll have a video probably coming out SoFi later today or tomorrow. But again, SoFi, this is good news for them as well. So again, overall market, I love what we're seeing right now. The only like shaky situation right now is gold. Gold is still just going straight up. And it's funny, I made that gold video and people were like, well, why would you FOMO into gold here? I'm like, guys, I make videos about what I'm thinking about the market, guys. And I try to answer, and I try to talk about things that you guys have questions about. Like gold was a big conversation that you guys have been wanting me to have. Gold's very strong. I don't think gold's going to collapse. I don't think it's going to get crushed right now. Makes no sense. So again, congratulations if you traded got into gold. Looks really good. Another thing out there right now is silver, which is looking real. I look at like the futures on it for like Forex and stuff. But again, holding up here as well. XAG USD looking really good. The question is, can this like get towards 60? I think this probably has more room, honestly, than gold. But gold just has so much momentum. And ultimately with gold, you're looking for that 5K target here. That's what I'd be targeting, 5K. So again, what I'm looking at, why I'm looking at it, etc. So going into the market, biggest options, biggest stocks I'd be watching, what I'd be tracking. Amazon. Now, Amazon, I think has a lot. It has room to go, guys. It really does. But you're just operating so poorly right now. It's worth mentioning. I think earnings are next week. For some reason, it's not popping up on here. I'm almost positive it's on the 30th. I could be wrong. I'll confirm later. I just don't feel like searching it right now. But yeah, Amazon looks pretty damn solid. You can actually probably zoom out here and see as well. Yeah, it's gonna be right here. It says the 30th actually. What a random day. Usually around the same time as Apple. But anyways, you're trying to break out of this downtrend here, and you're above your 200 SMA here at 214. That's a really good sign, but the fact that you're not finding buyers is so concerning. So what I would be looking for here on Amazon, to be totally honest, is not buying here at the 200. Can we get above like 216, 217 and start moving towards 220, 224, right? So that's really what I want to see is this type of action here, getting above, holding that level, and then pushing back up. Because right now, you're just not seeing the buyers. Apple, obviously all-time highs, probably going to keep going, looks really good. AMD, same type of action, as long as you're holding previous all-time highs, perfect. Also, perfect retest of 227 down here as well. Again, if you don't understand what we're looking for, you go to the weekly, go zoom out, your previous all-time high. Guys, again, women lie, your friends lie, your dad might lie, your sister might lie. The levels, baby, they never lie. Again, absolute juicers. Great, got a cough. Great looking name there as well. Netflix trying to move back into 1240. Be careful. Don't do too much with this. Another name I'm watching here is Microsoft. Again, I've taken a lot of the same trades. The past 2-3 weeks, it has been like a rinse and repeat for me. Rinse, repeat, same trade. Rinse, repeat, same trade. Rinse, repeat, same trade. So again, when we're looking at some of these names and what's happening here, Microsoft coming into the 50 MA and holding above 512 right now into 518, 517 has been one of the easiest trades I probably have ever had on this app. I'll tell you right now. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. Easily one of the easiest trades we've ever had, right? Back and forth we go. So again, keep tracking that. If you ever get above 518 and hold, I think this has room back towards 525, 524. Track that as well. Meta, another trade we've been mentioning a lot here, above 719, looked really good. Got above it today. This is one of the only trades I really missed out on besides AVGO today. 725, held that, now you're pushing into 730. I think there's a real world here, which you're coming into like a little bit of a range high here, into like 731, 732. You hold up. I think Meta's trying to run into 741. I wouldn't even say it's so much Meta holding up here. It's more of, can NASDAQ stay up here? If NASDAQ doesn't get hit by some of this Trump comments, I think Meta's in a very good position back into 741, 742. Continuation is what you're looking for there as well. So far, it's been a really hot start. One of my favorite names I'd be watching into this earnings season as well is going to be Palantir, guys. I keep saying it. Palantir is literally, I mean, sometimes it helps to just take the drawings off so you guys can see. But on the daily chart, you were consolidating clearly above your 50 MA, and you're consolidating at all-time highs. Like, I want to make this really clear. If you're consolidating at a resistance, basically, like this is how I would look at it. This is your resistance, 190, 187. You're just sitting there. Sellers aren't pushing you off of it. Sellers aren't shooting you down. Like, look at NASDAQ, for instance, okay? This is a great, for instance. So this would be the opposite action if you consider it that way. So sellers are trying to push you down, but sellers aren't doing anything. Actually, buyers are, you're hitting support and buyers are immediately shooting you back up. Like you can't even stay at the 50 MA. That's a bullish viewpoint. So again, going into PLTR is you're sitting at resistance, but sellers aren't actually shooting you down. They're not getting any continuation on the downside. And you have all these opportunities. And these are like stocks that you should be looking at like, okay, this is clearly a very strong name. Like top of my watch list 100%. Like PLTR is legitimately on the verge of, you know, breaking into $200, which is crazy. Who would have thought we would ever say that? But very important to understand that right now. So really solid looking name right now. As well, going into a few other names, I'm going to some of the smaller ones. Tempest AI up again on the day, looks really solid. I'm not looking crazy at a lot of small caps right now. Again, when you get this type of action, I think the large caps again is where you're getting in and out of your trades, doing a lot of focusing. One trade though, I was actually talking with a good friend, Grayson, and so one name that I think is just like a solid long-term buying opportunity right now. We were talking about this way back as well, which is funny, but you're getting your opportunity. LB Landbridge, again, just so you know, you basically were sitting up here near 85, 87 for a while, all through 2024, 2025. You're down here now at 56, 55. A little bit about what they do. You can go track them for yourself. They're profitable. They make money. It's good to see. And they're growing on revenue. It's important to understand, basically they just buy a bunch of land like in Texas, and then they lease it out to oil and energy companies. Very important to understand what's happening, how they're making their money. It pays a little bit of a dividend, goes up over time. Great name to buy, hold, forget if you're interested in that as well. I'm gonna have more of these names coming up also on the videos. I'm not gonna make sole videos for them just because it'd be a little bit boring. But one of those names, boring company, but boring makes money. So again, worth tracking, worth watching. The last thing I'm gonna mention here is someone asked me a question. Why don't I go over consumer discretionary? I do. Very important to understand that I do. One of the biggest things, I made a whole video saying that if the market is getting shaky or you're having a concern and not a lot of certainty in the market, I said the safest defensive names you would look for, defensive stocks, not Lockheed Martin, but defensive names for your portfolio. Walmart would be number one. Probably the best one out there, one of the best ones out there. We talked about this, getting back above your level, holding your level at 100, gave you buying opportunities. You bounced into 110. That's a win. And we also talked about Costco. Costco, at the time of those videos, go track it. It was a Sunday. I think it was last Sunday's video. Okay, so I go look at that video if I was you. But again, you can see bottomed at 903, 904. Since then, went into 962, rejected back into 924. Probably going to bounce into 950, I would assume. But still, another solid looking trade. This guy's question was, why am I not looking at Target? Now, it's important to understand, why am I not looking at Target? So why did I look at these names? Well, these names have consistently done very well. Very, very well. Costco, Walmart always does well. I also mentioned Coke, which is doing really well. Pepsi, also doing pretty solid. But he said, why did I not mention Target? Well, Target's doing shit, guys. Guys, look, if a name is going down for quite literally 4 years, 5 years, straight to the downside, why would I be looking at this name as a defensive equity or defensive stocks? Why would I look at this as like, okay, well, I should buy this company if there's a concern in the market right now? Probably not. Like, it's been bearish with the strong market, bearish with the weak market. Like, nothing's gone well for this name really at all. I think Target's a solid long-term company, but I'm just telling you, like, it's in a clear downtrend. They haven't figured anything out. Like, this is weird to me. Again, I think their market cap is 41 billion, something like that, and their revenue each quarter is like 25 to 30 billion. So that doesn't make too much sense to me. But again, would I be watching? Honestly, near 85 to like 90 bucks, it's a buy for the long-term account. But I just want to like track that. Like, I'm not looking to day trade Target because it's performing so weak. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why would I want to day trade a name that's only going down? Guys, you have to understand, I'm trying to use logic. I'm not trying to get lucky. I'm not trying to throw money. I'm like, okay, guys, I got to win big this time. That's not the name of the game here. That's not what I try to do. There are channels out there that push like really trash stocks and like will tell you could get rich quick here. You're never going to hear me push an agenda of getting rich quick on this channel. Everything that we're doing should be repeatable. When you're winning, the strategy that got you that win and made you money should be repeatable. It's not based on luck. It's not based on, I hope Trump doesn't say that. That's not what it's based on, okay? If that's you, like, I think you should take a long, hard look in the mirror and be like, is this really what I want to do with my money? Do I want to gamble it away? Or should I just go gamble on sports? I don't know. You need to ask yourself that question, but I'm not trying to gamble here. If I like Target, I mean, for any reason, it'd be I buy it and forget about it, and I'd be prepared to lose money. But I still think it's an interesting buy down here. But I just want to say that. That's why I wasn't looking at Target in that video. It made no sense. So I don't even think Walmart and Costco are even on the same wavelength as Target, to be honest, but personal opinion. If you have any questions, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. But again, what I'm looking at right now, I'll have a deeper dive tonight, most likely on SoFi with earnings coming up. So pretty excited about that as well. I'll probably go into some of the mid caps as well. But again, what we're looking at, why we're looking at, be careful with Trump. He is saying crazy stuff about tariffs. Once again, do what you got to do. See you in the next video.